here. Oh, I tell you what, it wasn't our fault. I tell you what, it was the printer. The printer has been making a loud noise, and I'm planning to get a new one tomorrow. I thought, I know what you thought, you could get one more page out of it. I did. I thought I could get one more page out of it. I tried and tried and tried, and finally we said, we just gotta do it now. We just gotta do it. We gotta go and get to business. That's right. We gotta get our business done. This gospel train is chugging at the track, chugging at the track, it's chugging at the track. This gospel train is chugging at the track, chugging to the glory land. Yes, it is, Chesley. Chugging to the glory land. We're going to go see Jesus. And since we're running a little bit late, we probably better get on with it and see if we can get things going here. Oh, I tell you what, I got this story here, and I tell you what, I think it is a good story. And it's about to remember foolish Lot's wife. Remember foolish Lot's wife. And so from the book of Genesis, that's the first book in the Bible, and that's kind of a good thing like a train. Well, like on the train, we're going to have, so when Jesus, he's the main one, he's our engine, but then we're going to have the next, this next book, the first one is Genesis. The first one is Genesis. All right, Chesley, in chapter 19, there's quite a story to tell there. I tell you what, Abraham and Lot. The preacher preached about them, right? The preacher preached about them this morning, and our pastor brought a wonderful message, and I was thinking about it when he came to the part and he was talking about Lot's wife. You said that she was foolish? Yes, Mrs. Lot was very foolish. But let's just talk about the story just a little bit here, just get a little background. I know what it was. Abraham was Lot's uncle. That's right, Abraham was Lot's uncle. And I tell you, brother, Uncle Abraham, he loved the Lord. And I know something else. Well, what do you know about him? He was a friend of God. He was a friend of God. That's right. He was a friend of God. And you know what? Lot he'd made a wrong choice, and he was in a mess. Oh yes, he was in a mess. He really didn't make wise choices. And now he's in a fix, and what's he gonna do? Well, Chesley, you know what? This man is in a fix, and I think he was, I think he thought he could just make it anyway. He might have thought he could just make it anyway, but here's what happened, Chesley, as because Abraham, he had just whatever Lot wanted to do, he made him a choice, he could have a choice, and so Lot made a wrong choice. He looked down and he thought, all I care about is good farmland. He wasn't thinking that there was evil. There was evil, lots of evil toward that city, and here he was a younger man. I tell you what, it wasn't a good choice, and now what's happening? Well, you know what? God came down to Abraham because he was friend. He said, he said, he's my friend. And he had some bad news to him. Oh, he did. He had some bad news. He said, I've been seeing all the wickedness that's going on there. The cities of Sodom and Gomorrah and the small cities around there. And what's he going to do now? Is he going to have a revival? Well, Chesley, these people weren't interested in revival. They were just interested. I know what it was. They wanted to sin. They just kept sinning more and more. And they was listening to the devil. That's right. They was listening to the devil. And here was a Lot down there. Was he doing that too? Well, Chesley, the Bible tells us that he didn't like it, but I tell you what, he was right involved. What do you mean he was involved? Well, Chesley, here he had this woman that he had married, and she didn't like righteousness. I don't really think she liked righteousness. She loved where she was. She loved the sin. She loved her city. And so she wasn't going to leave. And so what's going to happen now? Well, as God told him, he said, I tell you what, he said the sin, there's destruction is there, and how that Lot was in serious trouble in his family. I know what Abraham did. He began to pray. He asked God, please, please. Oh, he was calling out to God, and that's why God went to him. Chesley, it was so important that we pray for those who don't love the Lord, don't really serve the Lord. And kind of like, Lot, he was just kind of nesting around. I tell you what, he was making some dangerous decisions, and now he had married a wife that didn't really love God. And so what did they have the family? Well, Chesley, here you have the family. We find out they had 2 daughters, and they were engaged to fellas, and they weren't interested in leaving. But you know what happened here? I'm getting a little ahead of myself. And the Lord told Lot what he was going to have to do, that he was going to destroy those cities. And Abraham began calling out, and what about Lot? He was saying this, what about Lot? And as he called out, please, Lord, is there a way, some way that he could be preserved, he could be helped? And so God did. I know what he did. He sent some angels. He sent some angels down. Can you imagine that? God, just how the power of the prayer of Abraham. Because he cared, and you know what? So did God care too. I think Cheryl's watching. I know I see Cheryl is watching. We appreciate that. I understand sometimes some of the names don't come up, and I don't know why. That's the only one I see, so to anybody else that is listening, please say a big old hello. Oh, and you gave him a wink. All right, Chesley, that's a good deal. But anyway, here as the Lord told him what was going to happen, there was going to be there'd be destruction on those cities. He was going to send fire and brimstone. He's just burning fire. It's going to be, you can't escape. You couldn't escape. So who would want to stay? It's time to go. And so as Abraham called out, and the Lord, he made a way, and he sent angels down. Oh, no, you mean real angels? Real angels came right there to Lot's place. And so here, as they came, and then here was some wicked fellows had come, and but anyway, God miraculously helped them. And so as they got into the house there with Lot and his family, I know what the message was. You got to get out of this place and don't mess around. That was it. Don't get around. You got to get out. Don't mess around. We've got to go. We've got to go to a place of safety. We do not want to. He said, I'm going to take you. That's what the angels. Oh, man. Real angels. Real angels. I mean, can you imagine the blessing and the power of the prayers of this man Abraham? And now God has dispatched angels, these two angels. I just said, let's get on with it. I'm ready to get out of here. But you know what? They're not Lot's wife, and they had two daughters, and they were engaged to be married. And when Lot tried to tell the fellows they were engaged to, he said, we got to get out of this place. You know what they did? I know what they did. They laughed and they mocked. They weren't about to leave. Everything is fine. And they said, he kept telling them, you've got to get out of this place. And what about the girls? Well, I'll tell you what, the angel says it is serious. We've got to get out of here, and said we've got to run, and said do not look back. Well, when the time came, as they were going to be heading out, well then, Lot began to say, what he began to say, he said, let's hurry. No, what he said, oh, well, but I'm worried you're telling me to go there. And what the instruction was, to go, and they were to get out as fast as they could, and don't look back. Oh, don't look back. Oh, no, why would you want to look back? Because, Chesley, I don't know why, because there's going to be destruction, the fire and the brimstone. Who would want to see all of that? And don't look back. You don't dare look back. What will happen if you look back? Well, Chesley, we're going to find out. It was a dangerous thing. Head out, and the only place of safety was to get out of that place. And they were supposed to go up into this mountains. And here was a Lot. Instead of getting out and saying, come on, family, let's go, he began to say, oh, no, I don't want to go there. What's wrong with that guy? He should just obey. Be quick to obey. You're right, Chesley. That's the only way, is when the Lord speaks, be quick to obey. But he said, oh, no, not there. That's awful. We don't want to go there. I don't want to. We can't do that. I think they could, because the angel's going to help them. That's right. The angel's going to help them. But he kept on and saying, oh, please, you've been so kind to me so far. Please grant me this request. And so the angel said, okay, I won't, because he was saying, I want to go to that little bitty city over there. That'd be okay. And he was saying, that's the better plan. Oh, you can't outguess God. That's a terrible thing. So Lot had already, he kind of got the way those people were acting. They just wanted to just kind of run their own life. I tell you what, instead of run it, you run it. That's right, Chesley. We try to run our own life, we'll wind up ruining our life. We need Jesus, and we need to help us. Now, and so God himself was speaking, had put through these angels. And so here they decided he could do that, if that's what you want to do. And so they hit it out of their city. And he goes, hurry up and get ahead. And so the angels just grabbed him by the hand. We got to get out of here. What was wrong with him? Get out of that place. It's going to be all burned up, and they will be too. That's right, they will be too. So as they headed out, and they were supposed to be going as fast as they could, the angel said, I can't start this destruction until you get safely into Zoar, into that city. So here they went out, and as they were heading there, and remember the instruction was, don't you dare look back. You run as fast as you can. Well, Chesley, as they were going along some way, Lot's wife, Mrs. Lot, she kind of got to pull him behind a little bit, and she there and hurried it and got in the front. She should have gotten in the front, hurried up, and as he helped her. But the Bible says she looked back. No, and why would you look back? There's nothing back there, destruction. Look forward. And if you look forward, There was going to be peace. There was going to be safety. It was a better place to be. It wasn't exactly God's plan. Yeah, because the head of the family wasn't exactly being the head of the family. That's right. Here was Lot supposed to be the head of the family, and he wasn't exactly being the head of the family. Oh, please, I don't want to go there. I don't want to obey you. I don't want to do that. I want to do something else. He was in trouble, and now I don't even know if he knew that his wife had looked back as they were running ahead. He didn't have it in the hand. Well, Chesley, I would hope he would have had her by the hand. I don't know, but somehow in the running out, he might not have recognized that he no longer had her hand. She looked back, and you know what, Chesley? You know what happened to her, Chesley? You know, some decisions we make are just almost like etched in stone. In this case, it was a permanent decision. That look back was a permanent decision. What do you mean? She can't change? She can't change her decision. She turned around, and when she did, all right, she wanted to look back. She wanted back there. That was what her heart was telling her. I want back there. I don't want to leave. And so she's what? She's turned into a pillar of salt. Look, oh, what in the world, Chesley? Can you imagine? She's become just like a statue. And that one decision she made was her last decision. And she can't undo it. She cannot undo that decision. Isn't that a horrible thing, Chesley, that happened? But she made the choice. Chesley, we can learn from this to be quick to obey the Lord, and we want to make right choices and go in the right direction. And I know this when the Lord speaks something, you did or do what He says, because He loves you. He loves us. He has nothing but good for us in His mind, that He wants for us in His heart. And Chesley, it was a sad thing that happened, and we won't go into the story, but you know, Lot, his life was just downhill after that. Oh, it was a horrible decision he made, and it affected his daughters and all. It was an awful thing. But Chesley, you know what? The choice is ours, and it's the best thing is to make the right choice. Live for the Lord all the days of your life. Live for the Lord all the days of your life. And Chesley, I know what the other one is. What's the other one? To be an intercessor. Be an intercessor. We need to be praying for others and believing the Lord to help them and guide them. That's one of the very best things we can do, is pray for others and just speak truth to them, and then it's their choice. But make sure that we're the one that's praying. Oh, I tell you what, it's a good story. You know what? And it's not just a bad story. It's not a bad story. It's not a wrong story. It is a true story. Let's see if we can read this and go down here into verse 23, chapter 19, Genesis 19, chapter 23, and we can just read it here. And let's see. Where the sun had, verse 26, but Lot's wife from behind him foolishly, longingly looked back towards Sodom in an act of disobedience, and she became a pillar of salt. An act of disobedience. I know what it is. It's rebellion. Rebellion. She rebelled against the word of the Lord that had come from those angels. Just a terrible thing. And you know what? Abraham was really concerned. What's he wanting to do? Well, Chesley, Abraham is probably the next day. He's been praying. He probably doesn't know what Lot's done. But the Bible said in the next verse 27, Abraham started out early the next morning to the place where he, only the day before, had stood before the Lord. Just a day ago. Oh, Chesley, our prayers are important. What if Abraham said, well, I'll pray tomorrow, Lord. But he prayed. As soon as the Lord spoke to him, he began praying. Interceding, he was standing in the gap. Standing in the gap. But Chesley, when we look here, as he looked just one day before, he'd stood before the Lord, and he looked down toward Sodom and Gomorrah and toward all the land of the valley of the Dead Sea, and he saw, and behold, the smoke of the land went up like the smoke of a great pottery furnace. And he was wondering about Lot. He was wondering about Lot. Did he believe? Did he make the right decision? Chesley, I don't want to leave any doubt in anybody's mind. I want them to know. I know that we appreciate their prayers, and we're leading to God. We appreciate the prayers. And Chesley, we want to pray and always pray for others. And then it's their choice. It's their choice. There are some people who do like, they're like Abraham was faithful. And then there are those who do like Lot. They just kind of, as we say, dilly-dally around and don't really take living for the Lord serious. And then you have, people like Lot's wife and the fellas that were going to marry their daughters, they laugh and they make fun. And just some people like Lot's wife. It was her last decision. She didn't have another time. So Chesley, it's important that we go ahead and speak the truth. And then it's up to them. Then it's up to them. And it hurts very badly when we see they make the wrong decision and don't want to live for the Lord. But we can't make their decision for them. But Chesley, it's good to know that the Lord cares about us and we can make the right decision and live for Him. Live for Him, and someday live for Him here and go live with Him forever in heaven. What a wonderful time. Going to be a great place. It's going to be a busy place, and you're going to be worse than the Lord. And I tell you what, I wish Miss Lot had not messed up. I wish Mrs. Lot had said, but you know, Chesley, she's an example to us that we can look and see that's the wrong choice to make. Be like Abraham. He made the right choice, and he kept serving the Lord all the days of his life. And right now, your lesson is up. You want to hear me sing? Chesley, I think we've already had one song. It's time. See, we're running a little late today. So we need to have you to go to bed now. Well, you know something? I could sit in it and I could talk to the people. Chesley, I don't think we could do that because, you know, I'm the voice of you. So right now, and you're pulling my strings. That's right. Tell everybody goodbye, and you look forward to seeing them next Sunday afternoon. I love you, and I'll see you next Sunday afternoon. I love you. Yes, Chesley, we know. They know. We love you. We'll see you next Sunday afternoon. We really look forward to it. Goodbye.